A lot of huge Nebraska football news has dropped over the past couple hours. So in today's video, I'm going to go over all of it. A big update around Trae Taylor 1 week before his commitment. Spoiler alert, things are looking even better for the Huskers. He'll be in town this weekend. And then I'm going to give you a status check on Charmar Brown, what's going on there. A potential second running back transfer target who I'd be interested in. A flip target for the Big Red who looks like he's about to flip from Miami to Nebraska. What's going on with the 105 limit? Is that actually even going to happen this year for the Huskers? We'll talk about it. And then an update around the presser from today. We heard from Raiola and a couple other players. So we have a lot to talk about. Before we get into it, hit that like button if you're fired up. And really quick, if you support what I'm doing here, daily Husker football content, takes 2 seconds, really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it. Talking about this update now, I want to get things started with Trae Taylor. It was announced a couple hours ago that he will be visiting Nebraska this weekend, 1 week before his commitment date. Of course, he already announced that next Thursday, May 1st, May Day, will now be Trae Day. He's basically down in Nebraska, LSU, Illinois, Texas A&M, and a couple others. I've already told you guys on the channel, it's going to be either Nebraska or LSU, and I believe it will be the Cornhuskers. I put in my crystal ball months ago, and now this visit is so important for the Huskers, but it basically tells you where he stands. I believe he's already pretty much committed to Nebraska. He's not taking this visit because he wants to give the Huskers a last-second look, that he's about to commit to LSU, but he wants to do his due diligence. No, that's not it at all. He's visiting Nebraska because he's already made up his mind and is going to peer recruit for the Huskers. We talked about earlier this week how huge this 2027 recruiting weekend is, that there's multiple future 5-stars on campus, whether that's an offensive lineman, Noah Roberts, who's a potential 5-star running back, couple players on the defense, Torrey Pittman's expected to get in town. So there are a lot of high-quality 2027 guys on campus. The reason why Trae Taylor's visiting isn't because, okay, he's going to give Nebraska a last-second look and to make sure he made the right decision. I think he's already set in stone that he's going to come to Nebraska. Again, I can't tell you everything. But the reason why he's coming is because he says, okay, I'm coming. Now I'm going to tell these guys that I'm going to be in town. I want those guys to commit to Nebraska as well and be a really good class. So I feel great about this Trae Taylor situation. Again, can't tell you everything. We've talked to Trae Taylor a couple of times behind the scenes. Shout out to him in front of the channel. But feel really good about this Trae Taylor situation. Again, that's a potential 5-star quarterback, number 11 player in this class, in the 2027 class, according to Rhule. So I want to give you that check around Trae Taylor. Again, next Thursday is when he will be committing to the Big Red. But again, LSU still in the mixture, but I just feel really good about where the Huskers stand. Want to give you guys a quick Charmar Brown update. So it was up in the air whether or not he was actually going to visit today. He visited Miami earlier this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. The situation's been very fluid. And there was a couple other schools trying to get him to visit this Thursday, this Friday. But I can confirm on the channel that Charmar Brown, as we speak, is currently in Lincoln. I believe he attended practice earlier today. He was talking with the coaching staff, discussing his role, discussing NIL. So I feel really good about this Charmar situation. I haven't wavered at all. I know some beat reporters have felt really good and really bad. I've told you guys the entire time, I expect Charmar Brown to be a Nebraska Cornhusker because this is the place he wants to be. Okay? He wants to come back home. And if the NIL number is right, which I believe it is, if the role is right, which I believe it is, if the carries per game is right, which I believe it is, there is no reason why he isn't going to commit here. And he was wowed by Miami. He had a really good visit with the Hurricanes, but this is the place where I believe Charmar Brown will end up. It should be noted that he's still going to visit Cal this weekend and then Kansas State on Sunday. So it's definitely not over. It's not set in stone that he's going to commit to Nebraska, but I'm continuing to put in my crystal ball. I believe he'll be a Nebraska Cornhusker just because I have things. We have money and we have a role that I don't think that those other schools can offer him, besides maybe Cal. But I think he wants to come home. So I feel good about this Charmar Brown situation. He did make the visit, and I expect him to commit probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. So we'll watch out for that. Now, there is another running back who just entered the transfer portal who, if we did not get Charmar Brown, I would be very interested in if I were the Nebraska Cornhuskers. This is Dittman Taylor coming in from Incarnate Word. Last year ran for 900 yards in FCS football, 9 touchdowns and 6 yards a carry. He's listed at 5'9", 166 pounds. Now, the reason why I'm interested in this guy isn't because of his stats, because his stats aren't crazy, right? 6 yards a carry is good, 900 yards, and that's whatever for FCS football. But it's because of what I see on film. I mean, this dude is a dynamic rusher. He is so fast. Again, he's so shifty. He would be a great 1-2 punch with Emmett Johnson. And we know that Nebraska, they're not trying to put up big money in this running back room. They're not trying to pay these guys again over $300,000, $200,000. So this is the type of guy you can get on a budget, add to this roster as maybe that 1-2 punch if Charmar Brown didn't come. So I would watch out for Dittman Taylor, a guy again, 6 yards to carry. That's pretty legit, but super fast. You could put him, on a third down situation. He fits this Dana Holgorsen offense because he can catch passes. I like his game, man. You can put him on a jet sweep. Again, he's not an every down back. That's not what we're going to ask him to do if he comes here, if we're interested. But he's just a guy that we can, put in the game for 5, 6, 7 carries a game, be a change of pace, and then Stuff Quinn Knives be our power back. So watch out for the name Dekeelan Taylor coming in from Cardinal Word. Matt Rhule's familiar with him. He's familiar with Texas. Would not be shocked if we pursue him if Charmar Brown does not come. A couple other things I want to give you guys an update around. Jordan Campbell, flip target from Miami, top 100 linebacker in the class of 2026, has announced that he will be visiting this weekend. Now, this is a guy that Nebraska, they've been trying to flip for a very long time. It's a significant development that he will be visiting this weekend, along with an official visit in June. So, again, this is borderline 5-star prospect, a guy who was such a hard hitter. He's, think about it from this perspective. Vincent Shavers was so good in high school, but he was a low 4-star coming out of Miami. Here was Vincent Shavers in high school. Here's Jordan Campbell. So imagine how good Vincent Shavers is right now. Jordan Campbell might just be 2 times better. So I love Jordan Campbell's game. Again, he's just a tenacious Miami linebacker, right? He'll lay you in the dirt a little bit, but he has good speed on, good athleticism, and I expect him to flip to Nebraska when it's all said and done. So huge that he will be visiting this weekend, meeting some of these guys, meeting Trae Taylor, meeting a couple other of the coaches. I want to give you guys an update really quickly about the 105 limit. So it looks like that the 105 cap limit will not be implemented this season. Now, it's been in the House for a couple of weeks, couple months now. They've been talking about the future of college football, what the NIL is going to look like, what the revenue sharing is going to look like, what the roster cap is going to look like. And they just proposed yesterday that they have a 2-week period to negotiate grandfathering in the 105 roster. And if they don't do that, it's not even going to be implemented, period. Okay, so just know this. The 105, no matter what, at this point, will not be set in stone this year. If it is grandfathered in, it'll take about 4 or 5 years to fully implement. They'll wait till the seniors and the current juniors are all graduated. So this is a good thing for Nebraska. It means you can continue the walk-on program for a couple extra years. And that's why, if you're asking why people haven't entered the portal yet, this is why, because they don't even know if the 105 cap limit's even going to be a thing this year. So would watch out for that. I expect the 105 to probably not be a thing, and they're going to grandfather that in. One last thing I want to get to before we get out of here. Dylan Raiola met with the media today, had a couple interesting things to say. I think the most interesting thing that he really said was about the leaders on this team. He said there's a lot of leaders who weren't really that way last year, who've really developed themselves going into this year. He mentioned Henry Latufsky, Justin Evans-Jenkins, Dane Key as the primary leaders on offense. He didn't mention Rocco Spindler, but I believe Rocco's probably a big leader. And then on defense, he mentioned the main leaders, Cameron Lenhard, Marquez Watson-Trent, and then Gage Stanger was a very interesting name that Dylan Raiola mentioned as one of the leaders. Again, Gage Stanger's going into his 4th year, 5th year as a linebacker, never really played. You're hoping he can, be a solid contributor. We'll see, but I've heard some good things about Dane Key so far in practice. Hopefully he can show up and crack that 2 deep, maybe even crack that 3 deep at that linebacker spot. So, all right, guys, a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hey, if you made this far in the video, hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go be great. Go Matt Rhule. See you in the next one.